Hey everyone, this is Bennett Forrest, your fantasy football commissioner, here with another weekly recap for the ForrestLand MishMash Fantasy Football League. It is the Week 9 recap, but I do have a confession to make that I finally let the poor results from my crappy fantasy team affect my duties as league commissioner, and I was just bummed, so bummed last week that I made a lineup mistake and didn't win, and therefore didn't do the weekly update. So it is what it is. Now I'm at the acceptance stage of my team, and I'm just having one of those years where it's not that I'm losing, it's just that I'm in every game and getting just close enough to make it interesting, but not pulling it off at the end. And then week 8 is the week that it was my fault. So as we went into the week, um, it was about 12:30 Sunday morning, and I was like, enough with these Texans defense. They never do anything. Let me pick up another defense. I was going to pick up Kansas City, and my kids or something distracted me, and I did not make the move. And sure enough, I lose by 4 points, and I'm pretty sure Kansas City got like 12 or 13 points, which would have given me the win. So third and Oolong benefits from that. She went to 5-4. Aussies fell. That was 5 and I'm not sure at the time because now it's the updated record, but you get the picture. She got the win. The other close game this week was the Stallions falling in a close game to Mandarino. Mandarino is really picking it up. We'll get to his team in a minute. But as you can see, a 2-point game. There was the Monday Nighter with Minnesota and Chicago. And obviously, Minnesota laying an egg did not help the Stallions, as Sam Bradford only had 14 points and needed 2 more for the tie, 3 for the win. It's 1 extra touchdown, 3 extra yards, 75 extra yards passing. And it looks like he didn't have any interceptions, so just needed another, get to the 300-yard mark or 1 extra touchdown. That would have done it. Antonio Brown was on a bye, so that didn't help. And so Mandarino got the close win. And as we move into week 9, you'll see that Mandarino is starting to pick it up. So let's go to week 9 and let's start there. He defeats Graceland for his 3rd win in a row to go just under 500, 4-5. Graceland falls just above 500 at 5-4. And it did come down to Monday night. Doug Baldwin. It was really actually an entertaining game Monday night. I thought the Bills were going to get their butts kicked. But Tyrod Taylor really impressed me. That Buffalo team's sort of scrappy. As much as I hate Rex Ryan, got to give him credit. So it wasn't a lightning performance, but only needed 10 for the tie and got 6 catches, 89 yards, got 14 points, and pulls out the 4-point win. So again, Mandarino on a streak, even with all those people on a bye. Not that you're missing Brock Osweiler because he stinks, but pretty good win for Mandarino, and they're going to go into the back half of the season strong. We had the Travelers and the Cartel. Now, I don't believe this game came down to Monday night, but the Travelers have had a couple tough losses this year. 163 points is very good. I just realized Derek Carr, this is one of those fantasy reality things where Oakland pretty much controlled the game against Denver, but I think it was Latavius Murray had 3 touchdowns, so Carr didn't get a touchdown, and in spite of controlling the game and easily getting the win, only gets 7 points fantasy-wise. Mark Ingram, I know, had 1 huge run for New Orleans. Didn't get anything from Christine Michael, as they mentioned in the Monday night game. Seattle's offense, and especially the run game, is just non-existent. And, had a lot of great scores and nothing to sneeze at, 163 points. But the Cartel gets the win. Mariota getting 29 points. He started to play well recently. Mike Evans has just been a stud this year. Look at his points every week. 20, 19, 30, 10, 20. So he's had 2 mediocre weeks, but every other week's been good. He's got 4, 6, 8 touchdowns. He's just nasty. And, of course, quarterbacks, that Winston-Evans combo is a really good combo. Another fantasy reality thing, Atlanta pretty much controlled the game. I turned it off, and apparently the Bucs got a couple garbage touchdowns at the end. For fantasy purposes, That was the Thursday night game leading into the weekend that put the Cartel on the right path, and they get the win. And Travelers, tough luck, fall to 6-3. We have my game, which I briefly mentioned, scoring just enough to get some hope. And of course, if you look at the bench, I was sort of in bye week hell myself. That being so, it's a lot harder to make bad decisions when everyone's on a bye, but yet 27 from Robert Woods easily would have netted another 23 points over Dorsett. That would have done it. Another example of why my team or my year is just not my season. Zach Ertz, if you noticed, had 6 catches for 58 yards in week 1, but got hurt. Okay, fine. He's out for a couple weeks. He comes back. I'm thinking he's going to be fine. 3 catches, one catch. 4 catches for 19 yards. So I say to myself, what gives me any hope that Zach Ertz is going to have a good game? So I take him out, and look at this. 8 catches, 97 yards. That also would have helped. And I had Jack Doyle in, who was looking pretty good for a while there, had 18 points, 12, 15, 22, and I pick him up 5, 11. So just one of those things. My other thinking was with Andrew Luck for the Stallions and Frank Gore, both for Indianapolis, playing on the Stallions. I was trying to hedge and counteract those people with Dorsett, Moncrief, and Jack Doyle, and hoping that I would have the right combination of players. And sure enough, Frank Gore had 2 touchdowns, and Andrew Luck did have a mediocre day, and did have 1 touchdown to Moncrief, but Dorsett and Doyle didn't do much. On a different game, Alan Hearns got hurt. He got rolled over by his own player. And then of course I had no running backs because I had Matt Jones and Jeremy Hill on a bye. And LeGarrette Blount. So still could have won the game with Woods and some other combination, but again, just not my year. And I fall to 2-7, and the Somerset Stallions hanging around the 500 mark. We had a couple, let's see, Colon Cleansers get a nice 10-point win. That was thanks in large part to Tyrod Taylor. Again, really looked really good, and I keep getting him and E.J. Manuel mixed up. Taylor's been around the league for a while. He backed up Flacco for 4 years, so not total shock that he's a decent player because he's been around for a while. And I think he had a rushing touchdown too, so that's where some of the points come from. So Tyrod Taylor can play, and as much as I hate the Bills and Rex Ryan, I got to give him credit. They're a pretty decent team. So Tyrod Taylor helped, and I think that's it. So that got him over the edge, even with a pretty good game up here. DeMarco Murray, Ezekiel Elliott, Rivers doing well. Interesting that Marvin Jones only had 1 point. Another fantasy reality thing where Detroit gets a win, looks pretty good. He had that monster week in week 3 and has been solid since then. 1 catch, 5 yards. That's gotta be a bummer. You know that you would expect more than 1 point out of this receiver, number 1 receiver for Detroit. But that being said, Colon Cleansers get the win. They're 5-4. Third and Oolong falls to 5-4. And we had one sort of mediocre scoring, low scoring, not close game, which was Injury Risk, which still 7-2 leading the MASH division. Matt Ryan got off to a good start Thursday with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, and then just sort of hung on the rest of the way. Wentz has come back down to earth. Bell's been really poor. Steelers have been really inconsistent. He, of course, was suspended, came right out of the gates, game 4, had a good game. Doesn't look like he's got a touchdown yet. Maybe he's got a receiving touchdown in there somewhere. But Le'Veon Bell's got to be a big disappointment, as well as the Steelers' offense. And the Baltimore Riot just didn't do much. Had Brady on the bench that obviously, or on the bye, that obviously didn't help. But just not a lot of points to go around for the Riot. They're 4-5, and Injury Risk improves to 7-2. So let's take a quick look at the standings. We have the Travelers, even with a tough luck loss to Cartel, they're 6-3. Graceland at 5-4, still bunched up in the Mish division. Very bunched up in the MASH division, aside from the top team. So it looks like the playoff teams obviously would be Travelers and Injury Risk, and then there's, with 5 weeks to go in the regular season, believe it or not, even the Slim Aussies are still in it. And of course, we do the sorting of the point total, and you could sort of see that it's fairly in line. The top 2 teams are leading the league, or leading the division, and Third and Oolongs had a couple tough losses. They have the second most points in the league, but they're 5-4. So a little bit of bad luck for some people, Slim Aussie's just a general mess of bad luck and bad moves and underperforming players. So that's it. I know people have reached out to me for paying dues, which I appreciate. A couple people have sent them. I'll be in touch. As always, you can go to send your checks to 4 Adams Lane West, Hartford, CT 06117. Make it a little bigger. And there you go. Send your payments to this address, please. And everyone have a great week. I hope everyone voted for Hillary. But whoever you voted for, may the best woman win. And thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.